Yesterday marked 9 months since the Hamas October 7th attacks against Israel, which resulted in the slaughter of nearly 1,200 people, the abduction of 247 hostages, and shortly thereafter, the beginning of the Gaza war. And there are new indications that many Israelis have had enough. In a dramatic show of frustration, protesters swarmed the streets on Sunday, the so-called Day of Disruption, throughout the country. Many held signs calling for brand new elections, a sign of their dissatisfaction with Benjamin Netanyahu. Others covered themselves in red paint to signify blood. They held signs with messages like "We are all hostages" and "Deal or a death sentence" for the remaining 120 hostages. Another display in Tel Aviv saw protesters holding baby dolls to represent the 9 months since the war started, the length of a pregnancy. So are we any closer to a ceasefire? Well, negotiators are meeting this week on a deal that President Biden first outlined. He said it was an Israeli deal, a deal that Benjamin Netanyahu then seemed to back away from. And progress seemed to be building finally this weekend. Finally, there might be a deal. And then overnight, it looked like it was off again. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu seemingly threw cold water on it, issuing a series of non-negotiable demands. Netanyahu stressed that he's staunchly opposed to a permanent ceasefire, which is one of the key points in the proposal. Netanyahu also reiterated that any deal must allow Israel to keep fighting until it meets its stated goal of eradicating Hamas. Joining us now is Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, former IDF spokesman and a senior fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Jonathan, always great to have you on the show. These 4 new non-negotiable demands by Netanyahu have sparked real anger, both in Israel and among those involved in these negotiations. Some accuse Netanyahu of trying to sabotage this entire deal.
Yes, hi, Elizabeth. I know many do, and I am definitely not a fan or a spokesman of Netanyahu, but I think that this is being misrepresented and not really correct, because the Israeli demand of not ending the war until we eradicate Hamas and we get the hostages back is not new. It's something that Israel has been very consistent about since day one of the war. That has been very clear that we are not going to end the war with an existing Hamas that can rebuild itself after the fighting ends and then wage another terror attack against Israeli civilians. So to represent it as something new isn't really accurate. Yes, there's tension in Israel. Yes, there's battle fatigue. Yes, we are a democratic environment and society where people have the ability to voice their concerns and speak their minds, which is good.
Right, but Jonathan, a new poll just out on Friday shows that 67% of Israelis think that freeing the hostages is more important than defeating Hamas. And Israel's own defense minister called for this hostage deal and is blaming Netanyahu for failing to achieve one.
Yes, there's a lot of support for that. I would want to see the hostages home, and I would want to see the end of the suffering of the families that have been waiting for over 9 months to get their loved ones back. Many of them sadly dead, killed by Hamas in captivity. Some of them hopefully still alive, including women, children, and babies. And yes, of course, the pictures that we're seeing on the screen and the reporting is exactly what Hamas is leveraging, and that's perhaps their only and perhaps their last really strong bargaining card for Hamas to stay alive and stay in power. And it is extremely sad that it is at the expense of Israeli hostages being held there. And I think that we are coming near a boiling point of sorts, where Israeli decision makers, Prime Minister and Defense Minister and the other ministers part of the government really have to make a decision what they prefer, politics or the chances of returning Israeli hostages alive.
Well, clearly. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.